So guys, 2024 is set to be one of the biggest years in Xbox's history with insane exclusives and a lot more, and Game Pass is going to be no different. This January we have games announced plus a host of other new titles recently announced this winter and big rumored titles we're going to cover in this video. I'm Sonny, your host at Xbox Central, and we kick this off with Hell Let Loose, one of the best World War II games that's finally making its way onto Game Pass. This one throws you headfirst into the chaos of war, delivering an action-packed experience with some of the most iconic battles of the Eastern and Western fronts, and the game has received tons of praise from fans and critics alike for its realism and emotional impact on players. It offers intense 50 versus 50 multiplayer battles that rely heavily on strategy, tactics, and communication, and players get to pick from 14 unique roles including infantry, command, recon, and a lot more. But unlike the casual FPS military games, each role in Hell Let Loose comes with historically accurate equipment and weapons that really make it stand out from the rest. The game even features areas based on real-life battle locations for a bit of that extra authenticity. This arrives tomorrow on cloud, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. Now, our next game's kind of been described as like an indie BioShock, but without the combat, and that's the game Close to the Sun. In this title, you play as Rose Archer, who steps aboard a mysterious ship called the Helios in search of her sister, but she realizes something's a little bit off about this ship. You'll be searching through this entire massive ship looking for clues and exploring every nook and cranny, searching for those clues and overcoming dangers that you can't fight back against and you can't really engage with. You can only run. This is full of puzzles, exploration, and a very good story that has come with nothing but positive user reviews. People have loved this game. This is available today on console, cloud, and PC. Now, Assassin's Creed Valhalla might not be the best Assassin's Creed game in the series, but it definitely deserves our praise for its awesome attempt at depicting the Viking culture. It also comes with stunning visuals, gritty and intense combat, and really guys, all that fun Assassin's Creed stuff that us fans have come to love over the years. Valhalla is simply amazing for RPG fans who just enjoy putting that extra time into their character to make it stronger with better weapons and just in general more deadlier. Being a Viking game though, you can expect a ton of action in Valhalla as you fight intense battles. You engage in epic Viking raids, you build your own settlement from scratch, and you storm those Saxon fortresses. It's definitely grindy though compared to the other games in this regard, but it's a good thing for those RPG lovers guys, but it's shorter in length compared to Odyssey. Keep that in mind. This drops on Game Pass on January 9th for cloud, console, and PC. Now, the game Figment is an awesome looking action adventure game with a rather interesting story to tell. In this title, you explore the depths of the human mind and face the fears as Dusty, the brain's courage. Now, Figment offers a vast and colorful world that is fully hand-drawn. You get to explore this massive universe as you solve puzzles, you tackle obstacles, and you unlock new areas. But as you explore new regions of the mind, you're going to encounter a cast of quirky characters, and you're going to be engaging in intense musical battles and face the doubts and fears that live and grow in your own brain. I love how this game beautifully really combines the puzzle-solving gameplay with a compelling narrative that takes you on a journey full of self-discovery and overcoming inner struggles. It's a great choice for someone who loves puzzle adventure games with a meaningful story. This arrives on cloud, console, and PC on January 9th. So I've personally become a huge baseball fan this year as I now have hundreds of hours on MLB The Show 23 on Xbox, and guys, I'm really excited to give Super Mega Baseball 4 a shot. It's a fun baseball game that offers a great mix of arcade and realism. It's a great choice for both hardcore baseball lovers and casual gamers. Super Mega Baseball really doesn't strive for ultra realism. Instead, it kind of just makes everyone just pick up a controller and just start playing. This latest addition to the series also comes packed with tons of new content, including 200 plus characters inspired by former legends, new and improved animations, an expanded trait system, and 6 brand new stadiums to show off your mad baseball skills. The best part about this too is you can challenge your friends in exciting cross-platform multiplayer matches. This lands on Game Pass on January 11th on console, cloud, and PC. So the Resident Evil 2 remake is coming, and this is one of the finest horror survival games of all time. Now, this reimagined classic horror adventure game puts you in the shoes of a rookie cop, Leon Kennedy, and a college student, Claire Redfield, and they're stuck in a plague-infested Raccoon City. Now, this comes with breathtaking visuals, modern gameplay mechanics, and a compelling narrative, and really revisiting this old-school classic I think is a must-have experience now. The game's been completely revamped from scratch to include modernized controls. The over-the-shoulder perspective really enhances the impact and tension, and it's making every encounter with these nightmarish creatures creatures just that much more intense. Resident Evil 2 Remake also introduces some brand new puzzles and mysteries while including the original to create this fine mix of nostalgia and fresh surprises. This will be coming out on Game Pass on January 16th for cloud, console, and PC. So the game Those Who Remain is yet another impactful psychological horror game that puts you in the shoes of Edward Turner, a guy who finds himself trapped in a mysterious town of Dormont, a dark and strange place that's filled with these really otherworldly horrors where light is your only hope for survival. Those Who Remain isn't your really traditional horror game. It's all about making moral choices and facing consequences as you strive for redemption. The whole story unfolds through a series of unsettling events that, of course, are triggered by your actions and choices. Now, it's not a perfect game in any way. It has its issues, but seeing how it's developed by an indie dev, I really think it's a decent experience for those who enjoy a good mystery and a narrative-driven adventure. This arrives on Game Pass on January 16th on cloud, console, and PC. Now, We Happy Few is yet another unique action-adventure game that throws you into a strange alternate 1960s England that is filled with dark humor and psychological twists. Now, the story unfolds through multiple characters, each with their own unique perspective, missions, and side quests. Your task in this game is to uncover the dark secrets about this society that's flooded with a mysterious substance called joy. In doing so, you're going to encounter challenging survival elements, engage in stealth gameplay, and meet some super unique weird characters that spark up some pretty hilarious conversations. It's the mix of dark humor and the real-life issues that I think makes We Happy Few totally different from the rest of the adventure games that I've played in a while. It tells a thought-provoking story that highlights issues of individuality and the consequences of a society built on deception. This arrives on January 11th on cloud, console, and PC. And with that, guys, we have some games that have been announced recently, and boy, we have some insane games. And we have to start off with a game that I'm super hyped about, and that's a new superhero game called Marvel's Blade. And this brings the iconic superhero to Xbox, and this game's being developed by the makers of Arcane Studios, who's made Dishonor and Deathloop, so those are some pretty good games. Now, there wasn't any gameplay, but it was revealed that this is a single-player third-person action title set in a quarantine area of Paris during a supernatural emergency where vampires are terrorizing the night. Now, my guess is this might be an Xbox exclusive since it is published by Bethesda, but we haven't heard anything about that. But I definitely think us Game Pass users will absolutely get it. Again, though, there's no word on that. But we do know PlayStation has Spider-Man, and I wouldn't be shocked Xbox now has Blade to counter it. Now, there's no release date yet, but as always, we'll keep an eye out, and man, I am super hyped for this one. Now, the second game that I was most hyped about recently announced is the game called OD or Overdose, and this is from legendary Hideo Kojima, and truthfully, the trailer didn't reveal too much other than this game is going to be essentially just terrifying. It looked more like a game that might mess with your mind in some way. Hideo himself revealed that the game is going to be very immersive, almost like a movie, but you're still going to feel like it's a video game, and that he fully plans on utilizing cloud gaming technology incorporated into the game, which, guys, trust me, that means big things, because using cloud technology might push this game further than the technological boundaries that are not capable with just done with pure hardware, whether that's just a PC or even an Xbox. And this is something that I'm just really excited about. There is no gameplay, but man, it looks so promising. This will probably be an Xbox exclusive, and of course, I'm guessing this will be heading to Game Pass as well. So another recently Xbox Game Pass game that was announced is Harmonium. This is a musical narrative adventure where you play a 10-year-old girl who became deaf at a young age, and now she just wants to create beautiful and unique music. If you can't tell, this game's all about creating music with puzzles, and it's a heartwarming story and really meant to be played by all ages. There's no release date, but it is headed to Game Pass. Another title is Persona 3 Reload. This is the remake of the 2006 Persona 3, only completely revamped and reimagined in a modern package. Here you play as a transfer student who embarks on an adventure to defeat an incredible power that's been awakened, and you'll have to solve the mystery and fight for your friends. This actually lands on Game Pass pretty soon on February 1st. Now, a recent game that I've talked about a few times is Turnip Boy Robs a Bank. This will be landing on January 18th, and I've been excited for this one. It's about big heists and bank robberies and taking hostages and causing all-out mayhem against the fuzz. It really looks like a mindless fun title, and we'll be seeing it soon. Another new confirmed January Game Pass game is Go Mecha Ball. This is a twin-stick shooter roguelike that uses pinball machine physics physics mixed with this cool shooter mechanic that has you taking down waves of enemies and bosses. I gotta say, this one looks super fun, and this will be landing on Game Pass on January 25th. Now, another new 2024 Day 1 Game Pass title is Nirvana Noir, which is the sequel to the Genesis Noir, which is currently on Game Pass, and that's key because this game story will follow the decisions that took place in the first game. Did you prevent the death of your lover in time, or did you stop the affair before a fatal gunshot? Ultimately, you will be dealing with the consequences in two branching storylines in this game. The game is full of puzzles and mysteries to solve. You'll be interviewing witnesses and of course mounting a legal defense and just a pure investigation on your end. Now, another new Day 1 Game Pass title confirmed for 2024 is Open Roads. This is the story-based game that takes you on a road trip to discover the secrets of your family's mysterious past, and along the way you'll go through abandoned family properties and you'll discover things you might not have really thought, and they are really darker than you can imagine. This looks like a great interactive story-based game and one to look out for on Game Pass in 2024. So the game Sopa is a Day 1 Game Pass title coming this 2024. This is a narrative-based title inspired by the movies Coco, The Little Prince, and Spirited Away. And here you play as a boy named Mijo who steps into his grandmother's pantry, but he gets pulled into a fantasy land with great mysteries, and they're gonna have him discovering these insane imaginative wonders of this world that he finds. The game features full puzzles, a heartwarming story really meant to tug on your heartstrings, and an immersive soundtrack and plenty of quests along the way. This will be hitting Q2 on Game Pass this 2024. Another new Day 1 Game Pass title is called Botany Manor. This is set in 19th century and you take control of a historical English manor and its grounds that have really endless possibilities, things to discover, and a peaceful area to explore. But ultimately, you'll be growing plants all around the manor, all while discovering the history of your surroundings. This lands sometime in 2024. Another new Day 1 Game Pass game this 2024, and it looks promising, is Magical Delicacy. You play as a young witch who owns her own shop and makes dishes and potions for the town folk, but you're not a mean witch, you're actually trying to help the town. You'll be discovering new ingredients for your dishes and exploring throughout the town, exploring caves and old buildings as well. But on top of selling to your own town, you'll also be trading with merchants and other shop owners, meanwhile of course discovering more secret recipes, discovering more history, and of course the people. This looks promising when it arrives sometime this 2024. And with that, we have some rumored games, but very much likely coming to Game Pass. We're going to start off with a game that I'm really excited about, as the CEO has said he is now in talks with Microsoft to have it added to Game Pass, and that's the game Immortals of Aveum. This is a single-player first-person magic game that has you playing Jack on a quest to save the world alongside a bunch of battle mages, and the gameplay here looks fantastic as you unleash 25 different spells and uncover 80 different talents, plus full-on crafting and synergizing to tailor-make the playstyle that you're going to enjoy the most. It's an interesting game that could land on Game Pass considering it's published by EA as well, but it didn't receive a ton of fanfare or a ton of sales, but it has received great user reviews across the board from people who have really enjoyed playing this. So we'll see if it makes its way onto Game Pass, but hopefully it happens sometime soon if it does. Now, I know a lot of us have wanted to see Baldur's Gate 3 on Xbox Game Pass, but today a notification went out by Xbox to some people, and it looks like by accident, and it said rediscover 2 RPG classics. Now, at the very bottom of this notification, it says play Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 with Game Pass. So this is the classic titles from I think a couple of decades ago, and obviously not the newest one, Baldur's Gate 3, which is available to buy on Xbox right now. I've actually played tons of hours on this on PC, and this game, guys, is just like, this is insanely good. But it gives me hope though that maybe down the line we could see Baldur's Gate 3 on Game Pass, even though recently Larian Studios said that they had no plans to bring the game to Game Pass. Hopefully though, maybe they just said that so people could buy it first instead of just playing it on Game Pass, and maybe the plan is to bring it later. But truthfully, the game is so good, guys, that I recommend not waiting if you really want to buy it and play it. Trust me, you won't regret it. But if you are holding out, I think this will give you now a little bit more continued hope to see Baldur's Gate 3 on Game Pass. Now, another cool announcement is Xbox Game Pass is now available to play with MetaquestVR with Xbox Cloud Gaming. So if you guys wanted to give this a shot, it's totally available. And finally, we're going to take a look at the games leaving Xbox Game Pass. And guys, this is a brutal month for games leaving. Grand Theft Auto 5 is leaving, and that's a big one. And then there's some amazing Persona games that are leaving. But guys, I have an insane 60 game list of the best Game Pass games you can play on the screen. So check that out, as you won't believe some of the games on that list.